Silk thoughts start a fire when you turn the lights off. Oh my God, when it made you, it didn't find you. Oh, you've been hoping.
7:52 on TSN 690. It's Weekend Game Plan with Matthew Ross. We're here till 9 o'clock. 8:05's Habs Breakfast coming up in a few short minutes. Sean Campbell and Amanda Stein will join us. Right now, we welcome back to the show a regular and an articulate gentleman. You can follow him at Fred Daigle on Twitter. He's from La Presse Canadienne. It's Fred Daigle. Hey, Fred, how you doing?
Doing great, Matthew. How are you doing?
I am well, my friend. I am well. It's weather's not too bad. It's seasonal, I guess. So can't complain. What now, Fred? You got the pancakes going yet, or is it too early, or what?
I'll be getting that going right after our calls.
Okay.
Today is Annabelle, my youngest's 4th birthday, so we're also planning a party for this afternoon. So
wow.
It's going to be a long day.
Bonne fête, Annabelle. Very nice. All right, so Fred, where do you want to start? I mean, we've talked boxing in the past. You've covered a lot of boxing in this province. You mentioned you wanted to get a little bit into that and baseball as well. So where do you want to start?
Let's start with boxing, since there were a lot of news in the last week, and also there was the Kovalev-Ward fight. I don't know if you had the chance to see it. I think it might be a contender for Fight of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
It was a great fight between two undefeated champions.
Now, you predicted Kovalev would win. Did you think he got robbed, or how did you see it?
Well, you know what? I scored the bout, and by no way do I mean that I'm an expert, but I've seen maybe 300 fights in the last 7 or 8 years, scored maybe 150 of them. So at least I know what I'm doing. But I had Kovalev winning 114-113. And it was the other way around, 113 on 3 scorecards, but for Ward. And in particular, I have the 10th round for Kovalev, and every judge has it for Ward. And seriously, I don't see how Kovalev can lose that 10th round. And if they score it the same way as I did, then it's Kovalev winning 114-113. But when you got a score like that, it means it was pretty close, and the smallest things could turn it around. So it was a really good fight, a really entertaining fight. Unfortunately, I think the result might be putting some of our Quebec boxers on hold for a few months, because there was a rematch in the contract. So Ward will probably take an easier, maybe defense in the next for his next fight, and then he'll fight Kovalev again. So that leaves our boxers for maybe an 18-month hiatus, which is kind of long, especially if you're Adonis Stevenson, you're 36, 37 now. But then again, you have Lindsay Tucker, who is the IBF commissioner. He's not commissioner, but he's high up in the hierarchy, and he told Yvon Michel that the Beterbiev fight, the Arthur Beterbiev fight that is scheduled for February 24th in Quebec City, would bring the winner of that fight would be the mandatory opponent for Ward's IBF title. So then again, who knows if instead of having Kovalev-Stevenson for a unification bout, we might have Ward Beterbiev by next Christmas. So it was a great fight. And then you had Jean-Pascal announcing his return this week. Mm-hmm. He's going to be fighting Stepan Bozic, a Croatian that is not doing very well in his last 5 or 6 fights. But then again, Jean-Pascal hasn't been doing very well in his last 3 or 4 fights. So it's a comeback fight. It'll be in Trois-Rivières on December 16th. I'm looking forward to see how Jean is rebounding from his severe defeat against Kovalev last January. So that was, and then you got Lucien Boutet, whose version was acknowledged by the WBC, and he got kind of cleared of his doping accusations. He had a 6-month suspension, which is bogus because the fight was held in April, so he's already done his suspension. But when you fight a 12-round championship boxing match, you usually don't fight for the next 6 months anyway. So and he'll be giving $50,000 to the WBC anti-doping program. So that was an eventful week in boxing in Quebec.
All right. Elsewhere, you wanted to mention something baseball. And as a baseball guy, I'm always interested in talking baseball.
Well, yeah, and baseball fans in Montreal are hoping, and they're hoping for a big news regarding the possibility of having Major League Baseball back, and it kind of stalled. That baseball dossier has kind of stalled in the last few months, and I was poking around and see if there's something to announce, and somebody pretty high up in this process told me that, everything is going smoothly and we're moving forward at very good pace, but we just can't say or announce anything before the collective bargaining agreement between Major League Baseball and the Players Association is ratified. And there seems to be some problems there. Is it Ken Rosenthal this week? I have a blank now. Who talked about a possible lockout in this case. So things don't seem to be going as smoothly as it can on this front. But fear not, baseball fans, and don't be afraid. Everything, apparently, according to sources, everything is going smoothly. They just can't talk about it right now because of the bargaining agreement negotiation.
That's exactly what I've heard as well, Fred. But thank you for bringing that to everyone's attention. It's something that needs to be said for those that are certainly impatient to see some progress on the baseball front. And again, people should be reminded that the Blue Jays will play the Pirates this spring, 2 more preseason games. It's certainly very important for people to go out and support it. So you can go to venco.ca to buy tickets, and you can go to La Presse Canadienne to see Fred's latest on the sports world, specifically Montreal sports. Fred, thank you so much as always.
You're welcome, Matthew. Have a good week.